I don't know what it is. It is another pilot. This is
Episodes.
another pilot episode 6.1, part two,
Right.
I guess, whatever you want to call it.
I
We
mean,
are
episode 7.
the guides of nothing ever. ExurtBeatz, DJ Kaushun, Blonju, and Genesis to God. What's going on, everyone?
What's going on? We're
Chilling.
doing good. Doing good over here I'm over here. I moved now. I'm not no longer in Sacramento again. Moving up to a different spot. Going to SoCal.
You guys sound normal. All right. I'm not tripping out. Man,
What's up with you? What's up with you, Jen?
Jen, you here, buddy?
What up? What up? Yeah, I just had the mic on pause for a second. I was doing something.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to call you. Your phone was like off or something. I hope you're okay. Or you were in the
No,
way.
it was charging.
Well,
Let's get right to our subject matter that I've picked out for us. These are the I guess
subject matter.
Yes, sir. I guess today's title is called "What the Fuck," and one of the topics today is that I come up is like, all right, so this is not to offend anybody that's in Catholicism or Christianity or what. This is just a perspective coming at the Bible from So I'm Christian principles and whatnot, but this is just coming at it at a different angle. So you read the Bible and it says that the holy what is it called, the Immaculate Conception. Now, I really personally believe that Mary lied and said, she cheated on him. And when Joe was like, Joe was like, hey, I don't fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I didn't fuck. So he's like, well, she's like, well, it's the Immaculate Conception. Like God put it in me. And therefore, I mean, I think that makes more sense than some Immaculate Conception.
I would say that makes more sense thinking about it in the way we live life now and what we have now, because a lot of stuff that we have now was not its intent when it was created. Like I just recently found out that a chainsaw was created by 2 doctors to cut open a woman's pelvic bone during pregnancy.
Ugh.
But we use that shit to cut down trees now, and that's what everyone believes they're for. So basically, I mean, in the past, I mean, we don't really know how it worked then. I mean, thinking of it now and the mindset we have now and the way things work today, yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, the reason why I'm saying this is because I think Jesus was the scorned son, and I think when Joseph found out that wasn't his kid, he fucking said, kick rocks, and that's why he roamed the earth and all that kind of shit. And that's why he got killed, because
I'll say a little. Every conception is actually both immaculate and non-immaculate. So we're caught up in the dialect of what is divine versus what is not divine, and that's really not the conversation. It's the conversation they want you to think we're having here. And Jen knows a lot about the topic you brought up, so I don't really need to say much. He'll break it down to you scientifically. Like, I will say this, because this is what Jen and I were talking about pre-show earlier today, and it fits right in, but there is not an exact science to imperfection, and like we are looking for perfection in the divine that ultimately is just a perfectly imperfect, ever evolving energy, from a perspective standpoint. So yes, I like the biological, physical narrative that you guys are kind of seeing through in terms of the way the past is presented in our present, in quotes. I put all of that in quotes, but Jen will tell you that's our new pass it to Jen. Jen will tell you.
Yeah, real quick though, I mean, do you think that they kind of like redisguised it so they won't talk about how she cheat? Maybe what I'm saying, like they kind of big cover up.
I think they redisguised a lot of stuff. I mean,
yeah.
definitely
like everything, correct?
Yeah, they definitely.
It's all pseudo narrative built for division and separation from the divine, as opposed to communion and confluence versus influence, or profluence, really.
What are your thoughts on that? Yeah,
Jen will tell you.
Jen will tell you.
Well, I would say first, it's kind of like if you didn't have, it's like, imagine if I wrote a bunch of languages, symbols with meanings, sonic
That's
symbols
right.
with meanings. So imagine if I drew a triangle, a square, and a circle, and I told a story with this triangle, this square, and this circle. And then I told it in a language that you were unfamiliar with. And then in modern times, we didn't understand the language. You know what I mean? Like, and they were trying to use our language to decipher it and use our understanding of the symbolism to decipher it. That would lead us to pretty much believe anything that our minds could, conjure up in that moment in time in which we tried to conceive it. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing with like the Bible. A lot of it, I won't say all of it, because there's been a lot of insertions and things that have been taken out and things that have been taken out of context and things that have been mistranslated, etc. But let's just say that a lot of it is a symbolic language, and you have some real history there, and then you also have some symbology there, and then you have universal symbols that apply to anyone that's on the path, and then you also have like real history that's integrated into it, that's used as a means to express this symbolic nature of the text. So to say like he was scorned or anything of that nature, I would say like, that's a creative way of trying to step outside of the box, because like Blonju said, we have been fed so much bullshit that of course, we want to.
I mean, it makes sense to me though.
Hold on.
Well, of course it would.
I just want to interject real quick. Shout out to Jerome Duffy. He said that's a dope concept. We got our first viewer, first comment.
Dope.
What up? Peace to the God.
Jerome Duff, what's up?
Nice.
So like I got a question, so just to kind of like help me out on this. So the reason why I said that shit, because the energy like and I think I said this like 3 shows ago. Like my stepdad was really big on me not having a home. Like he made sure it's like, you can't live, you don't have a home. And I was wondering, like, because that's what happened to quote unquote Jesus not having a home, and then he got killed because they tried to kill me. Like they tried to fucking shoot a gun at me, and I just blew my head, and it's like I should be dead right now, bro. Like I should literally be dead. And it's like I'm wondering, like, is that the energy of not having a home? Is that real shit? I think so, and I think it's what happened to like Jesus. I mean, shit. For me, not having a home almost got me killed. It seems like they. That's what I'm saying. It's like there's a trip to the parallel for me.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say once again, it's like all of us have eyes to see and ears to hear and mouths to speak. But imagine if your ears were covered with headphones and they were soundproof. And then imagine your eyes were covered with some type of wrapping that would inhibit you from properly seeing. And like the soundproof, you might be able to detect the vibrations of someone beating, like a sound so strong it could beat on the headphones, but you don't necessarily know what the sound is. You don't know if it's soft, you don't know if it's hard, you don't know if it's high pitch, low pitch. You just know that there's a vibration. You can't see through the cloth necessarily, and it's tainted by whatever color it is. And then something's over your mouth so you can't speak, but like a hand maybe, but you can get some air out of it. You know what I mean? It's like whatever you say is going to be muffled by the hand. Whatever you see is going to be inhibited by the cloth. Whatever you hear is going to be tainted by the headphones. It's going to be muffled. So the scripture is the same way. Life is the same way. Reality is the same way. If you're not taught in the hieroglyphic and pictographic and symbolic and figurative language of the scripture and of life itself, then it's going to be hard to recognize it. So what do? The law of association. You grew up in a home like that. You had certain scenarios like that. So when you read the scripture, what do you see? You translate it in ratio to your capacity and relative to the information that you perceived. So once again, one guy sees something, another guy sees something, another guy sees something. But what does the actual writers or the people that the people that expressed this symbolic language before it was even written down, what did they say? What did they say about it? Not necessarily how we interpret it, but what did they say and what did they mean? And once again, it goes back to it being a symbolic language. And I'll give you an example. So let's use another story so we don't get, because we'll come back to that. Let's use the story of Jacob dying in Egypt or ancient Kemet. And on his deathbed, he named all of his sons. He named the attributes of all of his sons. The 12 tribes of Israel, Jacob being Israel, okay, because his name was changed. And that even when his name was changed, and the pinching of his hip and the nerve that's associated with his hip that the Jews still won't eat to this day. They won't eat of the nerve that was pinched in his hip. You see what I'm saying? When his hip was pinched, when his name was changed, when he wrestled with an angel at the land of I think it's like Peniel or Pineal, basically. So when he named the attributes of his 12 children, when you research it, you see the 12 astrological signs. Now, is it literal? Did he literally die on a deathbed in Egypt and name his sons, and they just so coincidentally have the attributes of the 12 signs of the zodiac? No, it's a symbolic language. You see what I'm saying? So once again, you have Christians that don't believe in astrology, but all of these ancient religions are astro religions. You know what I mean? They're based upon the stars. There's a lot of symbolism in these ancient religions. He had 11 sons, and he had a daughter. You know what I mean? His daughter was raped. She was a virgin and then she was raped. That's Virgo. Simeon and Levi weren't actually twins, but they call them twins. That's Gemini. You see what I'm saying? You go through Joseph. He describes him as one aiming his bow at the stars. That's Sagittarius. He goes through all of these different astrological signs, and he goes through all of his children and he names these attributes, but really they're astrological signs that they're referring to. So once again, Jesus is the same way. The whole concept of Jesus having a virgin birth, a death, and a resurrection, or a crucifixion, death, and resurrection. This is a symbolic story that is depicted in historical times.
Do you believe it really happened?
Before yes, he historically existed, but the way in which it's depicted is not just, it's using physical historical characters, and they're depicting it in a symbolic way because it's referencing initiation. It's referencing.
Do you have a theory on what happened?
Yo. What really happened is the same shit's it's a same shit going on and a different crowd doing it. We've all been doing the same thing for a long time, and everything gets grouped into a narrative of really collective experience, and it is not literal. Every story that is told is not literal. It's literal only in the sense that we're all experiencing it collectively, simultaneously, both inside and outside of perceived time. We're all you're looking in the past for answers, but we're repeating the same shit. It's the same shit. No shit. It's a big fucking hiccup the whole fucking time. Big hiccup. But it's perception. It's perception. It's equating those narratives with a literal situation that you exalt or you deny. And when it's an exalt or deny situation, you're never going anywhere because you're going to continue to repeat those mistakes.
Right, because you're not gonna grow. You're just like your fucking Groundhog Day the whole fucking time.
Sure, yeah, but that's what the cycle of reincarnation is. That's what all these perceptions are being misperceived, because it's a detachment from the divine and a unconnected energy that has nothing to do with anything but semantics. And when you take semantics literally, which is the conversation here, you're talking about immaculate conception. Is that real, or is that literal or symbolic? And Jen will tell you all that symbolism is meant to be. It's meant to be translated this way. It's
Translated,
meant to be
right.
confusing. It's meant to make you feel detached from the narrative, question it, and then not be able to embody it. And you are that narrative. We are that narrative.
I got
Everyone's actually
a quick
experiencing.
question. I got a quick question that just came to my head from all this shit. So, do you believe in order to sometimes get out of a certain energy, you have to go back to where the energy started, like say a person, and then go
Sure.
back and
Well,
then leave?
Caution,
Kinda like-
caution. Yo,
Okay.
yo. That's like you have to run. You can't if you're in pain and you try to run from pain, you will only experience more of what you don't want. You have to run directly towards it, hug it, pat it on the back, and say,
Right.
"Oh, I understand why you're here, even if I don't have the capacity to understand why you're here." And
That's
that
exactly
is
what happened.
it's acceptance, though. No one is willing to accept anything because they're looking for answers outside of themselves in these narratives of the past, as if that is applicable. It's only applicable relative to not taking it literally and how you redefine semantics to embody eternal being. Like we're not meant to live and die and not understand shit, but that's what we choose to do with our fake free will. So we're here to, we can connect and we can sort it out a little bit, or we can be in denial. And a lot of people literally willingly choose denial. They want to interpret that literally. They want the confusion. They thrive off of it, and they have no really capacity to understand anything else because there's no dialogue truly connected to that narrative. There's a need for all of this. There's a need for this gross desperation and disconnection from divine. There's a need for these misexplanations and misunderstandings. There's a value to all of it beyond it's beyond the ostensible perception.
And it's too complex for someone who is not, studying the literature as it was meant to be interpreted. Once I said, one, you're talking about the birth, the growth, the crucifixion, the death, the resurrection. This is astro theory, talking about the sun, first off. Second off, it's like he had 12 disciples. This is astro theory. This is also symbolism for initiation. Him dying at 33 vertebrae. This is talking about Kundalini. This is talking about the life force ascending from the base of the spine to the top of the spinal column into the brain. We're talking about Kabbalistic symbology referring to a descending and ascending through the different worlds. We're talking about mixing it with actual historical data, but not interpreting it as it actually happened, only referencing the historical actual data with symbolic means of expressing a higher form of consciousness. Once again, it's so many layers that we would have to go through the layers. Like we could start with the history and say, did Jesus exist? Yes, he did exist. Yes, we do have actual data referring to the Jesus character, and there wasn't just one person at that time with that name, but we do have documentation. Like India, they refer to Jesus going to India and studying with them. You see what I'm saying? Where did he go for 18 years? And 18 is 1 and 8 is 9. So he may have not actually been gone for 18 years, just like he may have not actually lived to be 33, because these are symbolic numbers. But did the actual character exist? Yes. You see what I'm saying? Now, did he have a mother and father? Yes. Was it an immaculate conception? No, because that's not what they're referring to when they say immaculate conception. You see what I'm saying? That is also symbolic.
Yeah, yes, it is. Well, I mean, fuck, man, it's your boy DJ Kaushun. We got fucking Genesis the God, Blonju, ExurtBeatz. We got some topics today. We were just talking about the Immaculate Conception and getting some feedback and some insight on that from my three dudes over here, man. These MFs right here are the answers to all my questions. So they're like my Dr. Phil's, but way better. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these cats here to solve my problems. One of the other questions that I have, since we're on the topic, is it's a censorship question. So the word fuck, okay, is considered a bad word. But when I look at the root of the origin, it's from German and it means back and forth. And then it just
Fornication under consent of the king.
Yeah, and then it means
Yeah.
I mean, it means an exclamation point, a verbal exclamation point, and it means motherfucking like hard sex. I mean, so why is it a bad word? Like, what made it a bad word?
Probably just the way it's used. I would say.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean-
how though? I mean, why? I mean, I don't get
Yeah,
it.
I mean, like, we all know that it's not really what you say; it's how you say it, or it's how you do it, the body language you put behind it, and so on and so forth. And then also, you know, someone's intentions behind the way they speak. You can make any word negative, and I think over time,
But, I mean, but fuck is one of those words. Like, you
I think
say
over
that shit,
time,
you're like,
that one just became common.
okay.
Well, I don't know how true this is, but I do remember a bit of historical information, which may or may not be valid, but I remember that it being an acronym as in fornication under consent of the king. You see what I'm saying?
I seen that as well.
Fornication. Okay, so it means fornication. You know, to basically to cheat. That's what that means.
Well, no. Fornication under consent of the king.
It means to have. It means to
That's
get
what the
clearance.
Bible-
You get clearance from the king to
yeah.
have sex with someone.
Okay, well, shit. Then that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense to me. So, that's one of the reasons I was looking. I was like, who and what said this word here? You know, you're gonna get slapped. I mean, shit. I know if I said the word fuck, I have soap in my mouth and shit. I mean, I'm just trying to figure it out because these are the things like that just kind of like bug the shit out of me. Tell you the truth, really. It just bugs the
Well,
shit out-
the
shit out of me.
English language is one of those things where just like a lot of things get lost in translation, a lot of things get lost in history. So there's a lot of words in the English language that we use that don't mean what they originally meant in their original language, which got grafted into what we call English. You see what I'm saying? Because English is comprised of Latin and Greek. So a lot of these words don't even mean what they actually meant. And then we're using them out of context, but we created new context for them. You see what I'm saying? Just like bitch. If bitch means female dog, how does it come to become a negative or a derogatory word? Because of the context in which we use it and the absence of the proper understanding of the history from which the word and its origins come from. You see what I'm saying?
So okay, all right. So to me, fuck is like the word is like the opposite, or is the same word as sex, but it's just more descriptive. So you can say, "Oh, sex, baby, oh, sex," as opposed to "Oh, fuck, baby, oh, fuck," and then that's just it. It's that easy of a difference to where it's like frowned upon.
I think it also depends on your surroundings as well. I mean, because I don't find it inappropriate if you're around, you know, I mean, if you're around amongst your friends and, you know,
but censorship does though. You can't say fuck on fucking music, but it's not even a fucking bad word. You can say it's fucking sex. It's the same shit. Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm not understanding it. Like, that's some of the shit that boggles my mind. I think that's some of the shit that censorship is fucked up with.
But also, are you trying to understand from their point of view?
Whatever
their point of view may be.
But that was it. You hit the nail on the head there. It's just another mechanism of indoctrination. It has nothing to do with anything other than the energy behind whatever, you know, whatever the word may be. And it just so happens in America and modern day culture, that's one of the no words or whatever. But like, you know, fuck that. You can say fuck it. I can say fuck as gently as possible and, you know, still convey, you know, love with it. And even, you know, Jen's acronym is divine, but I don't want to take that in like a patriarchal sense, because, you know, the word could be fuck and you could end, you know, it could be FUCQ, you know, for queen, you know, fornication under consent of the queen. So, and people spell it, you know, FUQ all the time. What the fuck? So,
and there's also some cultures where they name their kids that PHUC. Like I've seen some. I've seen some IDs. Like legit IDs.
That's fucked up.
But it really isn't, because they don't have. It's the perception.
It's all back to perception and semantics. It's exactly what we were just talking about. It's symbolism. It's creating, you know, something to attach you to a negative connotation and distract you from, you know, neutral +1 or, interwoven, divine theory. You can't really remove divine from anything. That's why I started with it's both an immaculate and not an immaculate conception at the same time. Like the word immigrant. Yeah, Jerome's killing it in the chat, by the way.
Jerome's, he said like Robin Hood, men in tights, like the word immigrant.
Speaking of which, I got something I want to talk to you guys about. The manipulation patent is a real patent by the government. And I think me and Exurt talked a little bit about this, but I know Genesis, you said you wanted to do some research on it, correct? What are your thoughts about that? Did you see that?
What are we talking about? The manipulation what?
Patent. Have you seen it?
No, I have not seen the patent.
Check your Instagram inbox real quick. I'll send you a link real quick. All right. Hold on.
Okay.
So you can look at.
Well, just tell me, what are we talking about? Give me some.
Basically, it's a patent that the U.S. government has that manipulates your nervous system through through the internet, through the monitors, through everything, and it's legal and it has it's a real patent, and one of the patents, actually one of the apps that you get on Play Store called what's it called? Randonautica. Randonautica is built on that patent. That patent and that app is causing a shitload of problems. I guess people are like going crazy and whatnot, and people are going bonkers. And I just wanted to know, what are your thoughts about the whole thing? And like, why can't we sue the government for manipulation?
Well, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that we can or can't, because once again, we don't know the legalities behind it. There could be a loophole where when you get on the site, you basically sign over your rights or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're very crafty people. It's hard telling whether or not you might be able to do it. You might not be able to do it. You might just sign off your rights when you log on. Who knows? You know what I mean?
But what about the patent? The patent's in everything, though. The patent is in the TVs right now. We're on the phone right now. It's in everything.
Well, I haven't done the research, so I don't know. Just like the word fuck, I don't know if it actually comes from fornication under consent of the king, but those are not necessarily. It's like a lot of this stuff. It's like it's not like I'm not into learning about the type of stuff, but it's like it's like the world is like a sandbox, and it's not that I don't care about the sandbox, but it's like you have to learn a lot of made up shit to exist in this sandbox, and a lot of these made up rules and algorithms and laws and shit like that I've never really cared for. Like I'm more focused on the ultimate reality and how it permeates the sandbox, and how no matter how many lines we draw in the sand, there are no lines. You see what I'm saying? Could we potentially sue the government? I don't know. Maybe. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a judge. I didn't go to law school, and I don't know the legalities behind the patent, or if the patent is even real, because I haven't done the research. But the reality is that the internet does impact us. Cell phones impact us. Radiation from microwaves and from the meters on the side of your house and stuff like that. Yeah, a lot of that stuff does impact your nervous system and impact your cerebral frequencies, etc., in a negative way. But how can we avoid it? Because even if you sue them, you're still using a cell phone. You're still around cell phone towers and satellites and TVs. Like, what are we gonna do? Go off grid? You know what I mean? And like go sue them and then buy some land and then live off grid and just tell everybody else to sue them too. And then hopefully they don't die before the lawsuit's over. You know what I mean? So
the answer, listen, obviously, like if you do the research, like talk to your gut, like your gut actually is gonna tell you what you already know. And of course, there's a little bit of truth to everything. So, is suing the government for manipulation, even if like all your worst fears were true and that's what you felt like you needed to do, is that really where you should put your energy though? No, you don't do that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right. You just become you become unmanipulatable, and you're able to translate, transcribe, and not attach to that energy, but be aware that, you know, yes, that's probably all going on, but like, how much does it really, really affect you on a supreme divine energy level? Like, not really. It's all about your perspective. It's how much energy you give to it. So, you know, I'm not gonna say of course you can sue the government, you can sue anybody for anything, but like, do you want to spend your time and energy doing that to prove a point or to get some kind of financial reward for how you may feel you've been wronged? I'm not doing that. I don't have time for
or
that.
Do you want to transcend it?
Right. So you can kind of use it as a reference non-point or point, you know, circle in the dot type shit, and you know, embody your own infinite being in a way that's connected to the way we move right now. Like this conversation, we don't have any plans. Like, we're just going off the, you know, infinite non-space and time. So that's why it's, you know, we're not the answers to all your questions, Kaushun. We're the, you know, questions to all your non-answers. Like, I'm not giving you answers, bro. I'm giving you perspective. You know, every time we're here, it's like, I love where you're coming from with it, because you're so sincere with your search for truth, you know, and your gut is all the research you need in most scenarios. Like, most people's gut, if you really tune everything out, like when I don't even need to fully meditate to be meditating. Like, I will leave you with this, you know, a persistent meditative state, PMS, a persistent meditative state, will keep you both aware and immersed in an illusion, while being able to transcend it and basically transcend duality at the same time. But, you know, it doesn't matter what people perceive you to be doing. Like, it doesn't matter how much people want to perceive duality or want to shove a narrative in your face and tell you it's the truth. Like, your gut already knows, and like, enjoy the journey. Like, forget about the destination. I don't know where we're going. I don't know where we've been, but we've been everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
Oh shit! Can someone fucking give me a motherfucking a dank brownie and a shroom while we're on our journey? Shit. I mean, cause
we are the guides of nothing ever.
Yes.
You know, and how's the track coming, by the way, guys? Blonju and you guys need the stems for? Did you need the stems for that or no?
Which track? I don't even know which track.
The boom bap one.
Jerome just summarized everything I said, though. He said, now that you are aware, you can detach. And when you become aware of this, you know,
like a transformer.
You're not going to be fueled by the energy of manipulation, no matter how strong you might perceive it to be. Now that you are aware, you can detach. And then experience being at that point with no attachment to the result, because it's being. Like, how much can you detach from the present moment and be it all at the same time? And that's where you feel fulfilled, you know. But then you don't chase fulfillment. It's always there. It's just a matter of if, when, and
think of it this way. You're so powerful. Every atom and molecule and cell in your body is so powerful that they built machines to suppress it. Think about that.
Yeah.
Like, if you worry about it, right, that only makes you more susceptible to its influence. But if you seek a way to transcend it by detaching and connecting yourself to the divine, name a radiation or a form of electromagnetic energy that they could use to manipulate the entire universe. We're manipulated by the energies of the universe. So how, if you tap into that and you become one with it, how could they manipulate you? You could transcend the barriers and limitations that they've set for you, and then you could teach other people to transcend the matrix as well. Like, think about Neo. Neo was in the matrix. He had a physical body like everyone else in the matrix, but because he wasn't attached to the matrix, he was able to utilize the laws to his advantage. So it didn't matter how many Mr. Smiths they sent at him or how many different algorithms they used to try to suppress his abilities. He was still able to transcend it because he didn't accept the limitations that they set for him. I don't accept the energy coming from the phone, and I don't need EMF blockers to prevent me from being ill affected by it. I'm immortal. I am eternity. I am the creator and the non-creator. I am the created and the non-created. I am everything and nothing. These are we are the guides of nothing. So if I can tap into that ultimate reality, then I'm no longer limited or circumscribed by it. I've transcended it, and now they can utilize these methods all they want. I've seen them inject monks with neurotoxins that can debilitate people or potentially kill them, and they eradicate it as soon as it's injected, or within a matter of a few seconds or a fraction of a second, because their consciousness is that powerful, because it doesn't accept it. It rejects it because they're not accepting the program. They're not accepting the algorithm, and their body is in tune with infinity. Their body is infinity. They are infinity. They are infinite being. So they transcend becoming, and they you know what I mean? Now, not to say that you don't have to go through the process, because it's not like you're not being impacted by these things. You are being impacted by these things,
Right.
but being made aware of these things doesn't necessarily make you transcend them, but now you're aware of it. So you have the potentiality to cultivate the capacity to transcend it, but that is up to you. Now, if imagine the guy who decides to sue the government, and he spends all his time worrying about, if he's going to win his case or not, and then he dies in the midst of suing them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He could have spent his time transcending it, but instead he spent his time worrying about it, and then he died from it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Well, so basically what you're saying is God to nothing ever. Did you God?
Yeah,
Blonju.
basically what you're saying is that.
You doing push-ups, Blonju? Are you doing push-ups right now?
No, I'm
What are you
dancing.
doing?
I'm standing up. I did my
Oh,
push-ups
okay, you're
before
dancing.
we went live.
I was tripping. I was like, what is he doing right now?
I've been standing.
Okay,
Been standing today. Yeah. I've been sitting.
Real quick,
so
I gotta send a shout out to my manager. What's that? To Nainers Management. I just got put on a couple of weeks ago. Just want to say what's up there. Thought I'd give a shout out.
Shout out to the 3 viewers, 2 on YouTube,
Nice.
one on Twitch.
Nice.
All right.
Nice. We got live viewers, dope.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man, we having fun. It's been a busy time.
Man.
That song, what you talking about? That beat that we rhymed on the show live a couple weeks ago, Kaushun?
Yeah, the boom bapper.
Yeah, I think Jen and ExurtBeatz have a song in the works to that. I may not.
Yes.
I may just. Yeah, they already got something. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a trip, dude, because like I moved. I was in SAC for a little bit, and then I moved out already. So it's like that whole experience was a trip because it was like it was.
You was here long enough to visit. You didn't live here.
I know, right? I didn't live that's about right. Enough to visit, and that's where I got that question about the energy thing. It was a trip, bro. I mean, I could literally feel the energy like that was like. But it was weird. I don't know if I was leaving the energy or if I was taking back my energy. Like it's like I am taking back the energy she took from me from like from that I guess whatever fuck she did. Like I feel like I took it back. That's what it feels like to me. And it's like it's a trip though because it's real. That shit was hella real. Oh, it was hella real.
Well, Kaushun, you're gonna have to fill us in if you want to get more personal.
All right. Okay, without saying any names, all right, dude. So I came back to a person to help was my ex, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Long story short, jumped back in the situation just to help out. Was there for about a month. And long story short, that it got really bad. Like she got disrespectful, insulting, and whatnot. And it was more intense though. But it was like I was either able to see her for who she is, or I don't know. But when I just bounced, I just took off, packed my shit up, and I took off. And I feel better. Like things just feel better. Like the energy feels better. Like I just cut out. I just said, fuck it, I can't deal with this anymore. I just cut. And so here I am. And so I don't know. That's because I don't want to mention her name. Her names are important.
You good? You good?
Just like I don't. Is that possible. I mean, shit, it feels possible. Like I feel a whole lot better. Like I don't feel as bad as I did before I even went there. Like I feel better now that I'm gone.
Well, you did what you did all you could, and you respected your own, personal, emotional IQ and intelligence. It sounds like so.
Is that what that is? Is that what that is?
Yeah, I mean, it's like healthy boundaries. Like everybody's got to learn. Like everybody has toxic relationship history, so you kind of learn. You learn your way to care. It doesn't mean you don't care if you can't necessarily be there.
Caring wasn't the problem. Caring wasn't the problem. It was just like
It never is. Never is.
Yeah, it was like enjoying the perspective of enjoying the caring. You know what I'm saying? Like, how about we enjoy what each other's doing for each other? It's like I'm not doing it so we can enjoy each other. I'm doing it because I care about you, and let's like be receptive to the energy that is, as opposed to tearing it down or what it is. I don't know.
Everybody's going through shit that nobody really knows. Like most people don't exercise everything going on in their minds. Mental health is still taboo. Death is still taboo. Like most of the things that really matter and humans deal with on a day-to-day basis are still too taboo. Like for lack of a better word, it's uncomfortable. There's not a safe haven for conversation, and I'm not condoning actions of people who behave in a toxic manner as much as understanding, the lack of tools and the lack of perspective to kind of get out of old habits, mentally. It all starts with mental dialogue. So like, obviously I have experience with negative mental dialogue and dealing with it and, not running from it or being scared of it as much as trying to neutralize it and knowing, not giving power to one's thoughts. But I'm not, what you've dealt with in that short term, like it might feel, largely impactful because, you did your best and, it's a newfound freedom right now for you to explore who you are. Because most people are in relationships without knowing who they are. And then their relationships start defining who they are. And then they never really find out who they are. And, it's part of the journey, and it's not any offense to anybody because we need those situations and, errors in our ways to value ourselves enough to truly give love and not want revenge or repercussions or wish negative thoughts or energy on others.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, I just took off. I took off with that mindset. I was like, I just need to bounce. Like, think it'll be
okay.
better.
That's okay, bro. You gotta do what you gotta do.
It'd be best just to bounce first of all for myself, and I think just for everything. I mean, as much as that person was telling me all the negative things about me, I was like, well, if that's going to continue, and I'm doing the best I can for this person, I'm a big receptive person when it comes to like negative words, just any kind of negative or positive. But like when I want to hear why can't we have the positive? And it's like it wasn't like that for that person. So I just cut. Dude. I couldn't take it. I couldn't cut. I had to cut. Like a DJ. I had to cut like a DJ.
Understandable.
Where we at? We at an hour yet, guys? We only
have 43 minutes.
No. You trying to be done? It's like that?
No, man. I'm trying to figure out if I want to talk about something that I'm trying to see in my mind if I want to go there or not. Because I don't know if I want to go there. Okay. Well, all right.
We are the guides of nothing ever. So I mean, let's take them on the journey.
All right. We'll talk about it then. Okay. So I'm wondering if I should. Okay, so this is about. God, I don't want to talk about this. Fuck it, baby mama drama. So we're going there. Blonju, don't be fucking laughing.
It's your setup and delivery. I'm not laughing.
I know, man. I know, bro. But it's like fucking. I'm like already stressing it. So I'm trying. I'm a big firm believer. I'm a firm believer of like not. I'm not. This is not talking about my baby's mama and because I don't want to. It's not about that. It's about me trying to figure out why what's blocking my energy of being closer to her. Okay, and it's like I do the things necessary, like I'll file, and something comes up. Either one, it's been rejected, or two, it's still pending, or what's it called?
Okay. Okay. I need that beat. By the way, I need that beat. Jen is gonna be the perfect person to answer this question. And keep going. I need this beat though. I gotta have this beat.
I'm just like wondering, like I'm doing all the footwork, you know, doing all the paperwork and yada yada, and it's like nothing's happening. Like literally nothing's happening.
Paperwork for what? Custody?
Yeah. Just to have another mediation, like a whole new custody thing. And it's like I'm wondering why isn't it jumping off? And I'm just like, what's blocking it? Something's blocking it. You know, I don't know what it is.
What do you mean, legally or?
I don't know.
Emotional.
I have no idea.
What's your
Both.
what
Both.
issues are you having?
Nothing's happened. Like I'm waiting for email response. I'm waiting for like, you know, okay, this court date is gonna happen this, or she you know, the mediation's happening on, you know, 6 months from now, or a date. And it's like I submitted all my work, I did it all online, and either I missed something that I'm not seeing, or it's just something like.
I mean, it could be a wide.
Yeah.
It could be a
On the
wide
legal
variety of things. On the legal side, it could be a wide variety of things, and it could have been the fact that you filed it under a retrograde or something. But that's not. The reality is it's only going to happen when it's supposed to happen. So worrying about it and being concerned about it is not going to push it through any faster. If anything, you could investigate it. You know, one side of it is you could investigate it and find out why it's taking so long. And you could potentially find yes, you could potentially find why, all the reasons, or a few of the reasons, or half of the reasons, etc., or one of the reasons why it's taking so long. But the ultimate reason is because there's something for you to learn during that process.
Correct.
So if I was you, I would detach from the situation, and I would allow it to unfold, and I would only speak the energy into it that I deem is necessary. One, it's necessary for you to let go of it and accept that this person is diametrically opposed to you at the time, that everything is subject to change. Change is inevitable when you're caught in the rhythm of becoming. So this person is subject to this process of change, and that they won't always be this way, even if it takes them until another lifetime. But just because they're that way doesn't mean that you have to succumb to the influence in a negative way. If anything, it's like I got shot by somebody. They left me for dead. What did I tell them? Thank you. I appreciate you. You know, I speak infinite healing into your life. I know that there's a lesson for you to learn, and I'm here to facilitate that lesson to some degree. You see what I'm saying? But I wasn't like traumatized, beat down, made scared, terrified, post-traumatic stress syndrome or disorder, etc. I didn't succumb to all the things that could have potentially gone awry or influenced me in a negative manner. I was able to accept it, to appreciate it, to respect it, to have reverence for it, to detach from it, and to use it to cultivate my ability to love and to forgive, because there's nothing to forgive, because people can only act in ratio to their capacity. So I was able to learn how to accept it and embrace it, and not just it, but all of reality. And that was just one scenario within the infinite spectrum of things that can happen in this reality that allowed me to say, okay, this is just inertia for me to reach a state of being where I'm not impacted by it. If it's cold outside, I heat my body up. If it's hot outside, I cool my body down. If there's not any oxygen, I hold my breath, or I create oxygen in my body. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to react in such a way where there's not any oxygen. Okay, well then I die. It's cold, well I freeze. It's hot, well my temperature gets so hot that I pass out and I die from heat exhaustion. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, those are things that could happen, but I don't accept it. So if she's putting you through this dramatic scenario, then don't dramatize it. Don't accept it. Accept the fact that it's happening, but don't accept it in the sense that don't succumb to it and allow it to influence you in a negative way. If anything, use it to cultivate a more mature personality and more refined behavior and characteristics, qualities, and traits, so that you can mimic the divine, which is unchangeable. Don't be swayed
Name
from
it divine.
Yo,
Don't be
yo. I need this beat as well. I need that beat as well. So it's calculated responses versus knee-jerk reactions. And that's for the on the zoomed out spiritual side. But listen, two main questions, Kaushun, just to help you deal with it on a day-to-day right now.
Okay.
Are you cordial at all with this other, ex, and are you cordial with the child in question? And then the last thing I'll say before you before you answer is in relation to shit. Okay. All right. So those are the two things that matter. Keeping love for both of those human beings, no matter how diametrically opposed the energy may be right now. And the last thing I would say, advice-wise, that summarizes everything Jen said, is just be ready. Focus on what you can control and be ready to be present when it's time to be present. That's on all the emotional, spiritual side of things. And then on the legal side, you can follow up, but only in due course of those energies, like in keeping those energies cordial, cultivating, a neutral +1 energy for whatever it is to ultimately work out in your favor of being present at the best, most efficient time. But obviously, like Jen said, there's a reason for this right now, for you to reflect on yourself and, to maintain that, internal, search to a place where you're okay. You got to be okay with yourself, and then it will all unfold.
I'm getting to that point. I'm what's crazy is that I feel like I don't really believe in like late bloomers. I just believe in just you just are whatever the time is, and it's like
I like late bloomers. I was a late bloomer. I was 5'1" at 15 years old. So
and then when did you grow?
Man, I grew like a foot, over the next 2 years, basically.
God damn, you are late. Well, I'm not a late bloomer. I'm just I just started later.
And there is no time is not literal. So go ahead. Yes.
I'll tell you. Anyways, what the hell was I talking about? I forgot what I was talking about now.
I'm not a late bloomer. You said I'm not a late bloomer.
Okay. I feel like now I'm growing into my own, like growing into like the person that I want to be, and all that basically is being able to like put my perspective is into action. And it's like for me, it's like that's the key. My perspective of myself is putting it into action, and it's like I just feel like right now is a good time for me to hopefully try to gather all the things that I love around me and get them close to me and put them into a different as far as like a category of thought in my mind is I don't want it to be something like wishful thinking, or I wonder it's like I don't want to wonder. I want to know, already know what they're doing, or I need to be able to be in the now with them. And it's like it's pissing me off that I'm not.
Mm-hmm. You gotta let that go. Everything we just said, like I understand those feelings. They're not ill-founded, but it is about working through what you just said. That's the crux of the matter right now. And
well, I think one of the things that I did and it kind of helped me. It's crazy. It sounds like is food. It's like I've been eating walnuts, a lot of walnuts lately, and it's like just I don't know what that does for me. I think it has to do with this like my mind state and just like the energy and just like everything. It's like I haven't been eating too much meat lately. I've been doing a lot of salads and shit and just drinking water. Drinking water. Like, yeah, well, energy, push-ups and shit, and I think it's just like that whole state of mind of just feeling better, looking better. It's like I think that opens up channels and doors and shit. I don't know. I mean,
it does things you don't even know. It does.
Yeah, it does. It does. It does. I mean, one thing is giving me my sexy back, and then two is giving me my sexy back.
Healthy diet is everything as well.
No, I just like, yeah, man. I mean, Exurt had a good ass. What would you have the other day?
I seen this thing on Instagram. I don't know who it was, or else I'd credit him. But It was basically this video. It was just showing all the foods that look like body parts. They actually help. So, certain, they're like meant for those body parts. So like when you crack open a walnut, for instance, it looks like a brain.
It was like a brain.
And it helps, and it helps with your memory and so on and so forth. And there's other fruits and vegetables that look like other organs in our body that do the same.
Well, shout out Rome once again. Rome's been hanging with us all show.
Yeah.
It summarizes everything we just said, and connecting your mind to your body to be more present in the moment. And that goes back to a lot of what we've talked about throughout the show in terms of being present and not so focused on a literal or even symbolic interpretation of the past. But awareness is not, and we really can be aware enough to be present. And I don't want to say more present, just present. We don't need to shoot for the moon. It's baby steps. Let's enjoy a moment if we can amidst a lot of perceived trauma and suffering. So we'll work through it. It's a process.
Who's Atlanta playing right now?
We're playing the Heat in Game 4 of the first round of the playoffs. We're the 8th seed. They're the 1 seed. We're down 2-1. Yeah, they probably just tipped off.
Dude, I was looking at the roster, dude. I don't know anybody on the roster. I was like, do I know any? I was looking on your roster. I didn't know anybody, dude.
We're young, man. We're young and fiery. I mean, Trey and young.
I know you guys are hella young.
I mean, Trey Young is a superstar, and people, he doesn't get a lot of respect because of his size and that he's not a premier defender. But this man, Trey Young, led the league in cumulative points and cumulative assists this year. He was like 4th in scoring, maybe 3rd in assists per game, average-wise, which is still incredible. And we're a problem. We've got something building here, and I hope we can pull out a win tonight. I appreciate you guys coming early and tapping in early and getting a good dope hour of combo for episode 7.
We had to do it for you, Blonju.
Yeah, appreciate it. Episode 6 was that 5 minutes of hilarity where I thought ExurtBeatz had turned into Darth Vader's dad last week, and then we didn't do a show on Easter. But we resurrected today, and I'm glad we can hang out. I think everybody got some good combo in. ExurtBeatz, I definitely need those 2 beats, Jen. I'm not trying to take them from you if you want to be on there too.
I already sent them to you. Check your email box.
Yes, I'll have a song to one or both of those in the next 24 or 48 hours.
That's what's up, guys. What's up? It's your boy DJ Kaushun here. ExurtBeatz, Blonju, Genesis the God, Jerome Duff. Much love on staying with us on the whole show.
And a quick shout out to the other 2. Who I don't know who you were, but thank you for tuning in. It says we have 3 total. I know Jerome was 1. I don't know who the other 2 are.
Y'all got any things to promote? So we'll be here next week. I mean, I'm fine with Sundays, guys. I don't want to change anything. Let's keep it Sunday, somewhere in that 6 to 7:30 start time. We'll do an hour. Anything to promote? Blonju, Genesis the God record is coming out less than 2 weeks now, May 5th, Space Rhyme Continuum. I got a ton of stuff happening, but I'm not going to go through everything else. Just Jen the God, Blonju, Space Rhyme Continuum.
I just want to promote Space Rhyme Continuum as well. And all my friends that are out there that said that I couldn't be on TV, look at me now.
Square Roots EP, You Do the Math. Video of the intro just dropped on April 22nd. Go check that out on our YouTube. Also, go check out You Might Get Shot. That's also available on everywhere. So, yeah.
We got tons of stuff happening. We'll catch y'all soon.
Yes.
All right.
It's been a great show.
Peace out.
We are the guides of Nothing Ever.
Love y'all.